everybody. Welcome back to the Juniper Vale. Today, we are doing more World Cup readings. Again, we are at the knockout stage, and these are the readings for Monday, June 29th. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you to everyone so far who has. I really appreciate it. It helps a lot. And I also love to see your comments. So please leave a comment. Who do you want to win? Who's your favorite team? Who are you mad that is not there? Who do you think is going to win? Pull cards with me. Let me know what you get. It's a lot of fun. I really appreciate your feedback. All right, everybody. So today is Saturday, June 27th for me. It is 2:39 Eastern time, so the June 27th games have not yet started. Today I am reading again on the June 29th game. So Brazil versus Japan, Germany versus Paraguay, and Netherlands versus Morocco. I was very surprised that Japan tied with Sweden. I really thought Japan was going to win. The cards came up as Japan playing tough and Sweden kind of not all there. But they did get the draw, so that was interesting. Let's see. Brazil has 1 draw, 2 wins. Japan has 2 draws and 1 win. So Brazil is playing Japan at 1 p.m. Eastern time in Houston, Texas. Brazil is a powerhouse team. But Japan has been playing, I think, very well. So it'll be a good game. Let's see. I'm going to have Brazil on my left, Japan on my right. I'll pull three tarot cards for each. And then I use the oracle cards to also help me clarify wins and losses. And if I still get stuck and I can't figure it out, I usually pull more cards just to get more clarifiers, because some of them are not very cut and dry. All right, Brazil, what do you have for me? You have the 7 of Swords, the Page of Pentacles, and the 5 of Swords. Japan has the 3 of Swords, the 4 of Pentacles, and the 7 of Cups. So I believe I also had the 7 of Cups. I did a reading on South Africa and Canada yesterday. And Canada had the 7 of Cups as well in the second half. That was a very hard game to figure out who would win. In the end, I was going South Africa, so we'll see, even though I think Canada are the favorites. But now we have Brazil and Japan. So Brazil has a 7 of Swords. What I like about the 7 of Swords here, you see somebody that's like sneaking away with some swords, right? He's thieving. He stole something. When I think of a game, sports games, when I get the 7 of Swords, swords can talk about like difficult issues. They can also, I think they talk about cutting off of intuition. Yeah. But when I do the games, it's pretty funny because I almost see it as people that are stealing opportunities. They're scoring some goals. Like they're playing stealthily. Um, so I think that's what's going on there. Uh, what else? I'm just checking on the 7s to see if I'm missing anything. Spiritual resources, rebirth, religious inclinations. Yeah, I think it's more along the lines of sometimes can also be like someone stealing the show, like a player is really standing out from the team. Because 7s kind of tell you to socialize a bit more, that you're doing things a little bit too on your own. So I think Brazil will be doing pretty well in the first half. They're really going to be probably a standout player. By midpoint in the game, we have the Page of Pentacles. Pages are those apprentices. They're very hopeful. They're at the starting of the court cards, so they're willing to learn, a little naive, but they're a good preparation for success. Um, Pentacles I view as sports athletic ability because they have also to do with your physical health qualities. Um, to me, it's like they feel like they're preparing for success in the second half. Um, Pages aren't as strong as kings, but I feel like as a team, they're in a good headspace and they know that they have the athletic ability. The 5 of swords is a little difficult, right? So since swords can be difficult situations, they can be double-sided, and then we get the 5s. And 5s are a bit chaotic. They could be good chaotic or they could be bad chaotic. When I think of the 5 of swords, I think of it more as a little bit of a bad chaotic, but it depends. It depends on whose side are you on, right? You see these people here and you see this guy. This guy looks a lot happier than these 2 guys, right? So he's picking up the aftermath of whatever fight that went on, right? So he's looking at them and he's picking up more swords, kind of like this guy was picking up swords here. He's picking up swords from fallen people. So to me, that kind of says that the second half is a bit more tough for Brazil, but they're happy with, how they end the game. They really put up a fight, and they kinda look like the winners in that sense. For Japan, the first card we get is the 3 of Swords, which talks about heartbreak, right? And it's a very literal card. It's raining in the background, stormy, things just aren't going that great. Yeah. Usually threes are good about the trinity, body, mind, and spirit, communication, growth. But the problem is that when they're paired with the swords, you get that heartbreak. The team themselves could be spreading themselves too thin. They are not properly defending against Brazil, and Brazil's walking away with goals, right? So then by the midpoint of the game, we're at the Four of Pentacles. And the Four of Pentacles is very interesting because this is somebody who is not sharing. They're being miserly, right? They got their feet on 2 pentacles, they're holding another pentacle, they got that pentacle on their head, like they're holding all the pentacles to themselves and they're not sharing. So this is a pretty interesting card when it comes to like midpoint in the game. I think in a way, since the pentacles are physical capabilities, they're holding back for some reason. They're not going out full force. It's almost like they're feeling a little, they're not feeling confident. I think that Japan as a team is very stoic and they're very disciplined, but, I think I wanna say they're kinda panicking a little bit, by the second half, and they're holding back. The 7 of Cups is an interesting card because this talks about illusions and delusions. So this person is looking at all these cups, right? They're in the clouds. They're like, wow, look at all the stuff in the cups. It all looks so amazing, but not all of it's great. There's a snake in that one, there's a dragon in that one. I don't even know what's in some of the other ones, but I mean, it's a mixture. It's a mixture of good and bad. Um, it also might be this idea of you think something's going to go really great, but you're delusional. Or which I feel like is true for when I pull this for sports games. It's like there's opportunities, right? Not all opportunities will work out. So I'm feeling like in the second half, Japan gets more opportunities for scoring goals, but not all opportunities are going to work out. Brazil is going to put up a very good fight. And I think Brazil's going to end up pretty happy. So let me pull some oracle cards here. Let's see. Oracle card for Brazil. we have the Power Stone. Wow. For Japan, we have the pentagram. So the Power Stone talks about energy, support, stability. I think that's a great card to have, especially in sports games. I mean, it's showing that they have energy throughout the whole game. They're very supportive of each other, and they are stable in their ability to play. Um, I don't think they're going to make mistakes, or not many at least. Japan has the pentagram, which talks about protection, harmony, and balance. It's also a good card to have, but it's not as strong as the Power Stone. Um, I think there's harmony within the team. They work well together. They balance each other out, but it's definitely not as strong as the Power Stone. Brazil gets the brownies. I love that card. And Japan gets the changeling. So the brownies, I've only gotten the brownies once before. What I want to know a bit more about the brownies. Mischief, small blessings, and hidden help, right? So brownies are those little guys there. I think they're working on making something. Bread, cake, I don't know. But they're little mischievous creatures, right? I think this is saying that Brazil is let's see, mischievous, so which goes well with the 7 of swords, right? That guy slinking away after his little thievery. Um, Small blessings, they have luck. They probably have a lot of opportunities, and they do well. And the hidden help, I mean, the hidden help is just like luck in a way, you know. The changeling, the changeling is different. So um for Japan, the changeling is transformation, outsider. It's also different. It has different in there too. So I feel like in this way, the transformation is showing that they're not as confident as they were in their previous games. Um, so the transformation part, I mean, it's showing. I think that they're not going to be playing as well because I think Brazil's going to overpower them. Brazil has the confidence, and I think they're going to win over Japan. I think this one is pretty clear. So I'm going to go with Brazil for the win on this one. And remember, we're in the knockout stage, so you can't have ties, right? You can't have draws because one team has to move on. At least I'm pretty sure that's what it is. I should have checked with Tio, but I'm pretty sure. All right. Next is Germany and Paraguay. They are playing at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time in Massachusetts. So it's on the East Coast. Let's see, Germany had a win-win loss. I was very surprised about their loss to Ecuador. I'm sure I said Germany would win, probably. Um, and then Paraguay had loss, win, draw. So they had one of each. They lost against the US, they won against Turkey, and they tied with Australia. I don't think Germany played Curacao, and it's Curaçao's first time in the World Cup. They played the Ivory Coast. Um, so I mean, Germany is a very strong team, but the loss against Ecuador was very interesting. Germany versus Paraguay. I'm not sure how I feel about the strength of Paraguay. Um, they've only scored 2 goals in their last 3 games. Germany has scored 10. So it doesn't look that great for Paraguay just from that standpoint. But we'll see what the cards say. We'll see what the cards say. All right, so Germany On my left, Paraguay. On my right. All right, Germany, what you got? You have the Six of Wands, the Ace of Wands, and the Tower. Ooh. Paraguay has the Five of Wands, lots of wands, the Seven of Cups again, and the Queen of Cups. Interesting. So the Six of Wands I think are great for sports because they're about enthusiasm, willpower, creativity, drive. Six of Wands, sixes are the calmer card. They're ready. So this is kind of like being having your head in the game, right? This guy is on horseback. The troops are there. They're kind of waiting and ready for the game to begin, right? The battle to begin. There's a confidence here, especially with the way that he's sitting. Um, and it just says to me preparation. Like they're very prepared for this game. Midpoint in the game, I see the Ace of Wands. That's another great card. Those aces are the beginning of the minor arcana. We're talking about clarity. We're talking about purpose. We're talking about new beginnings and just more enthusiasm. So I think this is a great card to have for the game, right? Their head is still in there. The Tower card, however, and which I believe comes in the second half, is just like not good. This is a very bad card to have. This is destruction. This is falling apart. The tower is struck by lightning. People are coming out of the tower. Not great. Not great at all. So, I have to really look at the Paraguay cards first before I come to a conclusion, but this isn't good. This could be a very bad second half for Germany. Paraguay, first card they get is the Five of Wands. So this comes right before the Six of Wands. You see battle, right? You see chaos. You see people really battling it out. So I see Germany as being more confident and secure, whereas Paraguay are really in midst of battle in the first half. Um, then near the second half for Paraguay, they see a lot of opportunities again, right? We have the illusions delusions card. They're seeing different things that they can do. Not every choice is a good choice, but they have choices. It's almost like in midway through the game, they start to think things through about how they're playing. Germany played very strongly, probably got a good number of goals, and now Paraguay is really thinking things through. The Queen of Cups is a leadership card. Queens are wise and they're not intimidated. So Paraguay goes into the second half feeling stronger. Cups are good for communication, social relationships. I think as a team, they're very much as one. They're playing as one. So I think they have a very good second half. Germany, not so much. But it doesn't quite tell me about win lose here. I just think Germany's going to have a better first half and Paraguay is going to surprise them in the second. So let's do some oracle cards. I would say Germany is probably easily the favorite to win. So I'm very curious to see how the oracle cards come out for both teams. Oh man, what do you guys think? Tell me in the comments. So Germany has the owl and Paraguay has the whip. I sounded like Christopher Walken when I said owl. So owl is wisdom, insight, knowledge. Very good card to have. That says, you know, there are an established team. They know what they're doing. They've prepared. They have good instincts about the game as they play. Paraguay has the whip. That talks about conflict, tension, arguments. That could easily go with their first half. Maybe they're just not together in the first half, arguing with each other, arguing with the refs. There's tension, conflict. But it seems in the second half they kind of maybe come a bit more together. So let's do some Victorian Phantasmagoria cards, get a little bit more insights. into how these teams end up. Germany still has very strong cards, even with that tower card, because the tower doesn't mean that they'll lose necessarily. Let's see. Germany has the clown. Paraguay has the ventriloquist. Clown, the creepy, creepy clown. Look at this guy. That is one creepy clown. And it does say creepy in the in the description. Creepy illusion, exaggeration, in a way that kind of makes me feel like they make Paraguay feel very intimidated. The ventriloquist talks more about deception, manipulation, and also being controlled. I think they're going to feel like Germany is really in control of the game. They don't feel like they feel probably more like the puppet as opposed to the ventriloquist. But during the second half, they may turn that around and they may make Germany feel that way. Hmm. I'm not getting a clear win loss. So I'm going to pull some more cards. So, Germany, you going to win? You going to lose? Germany has the Queen of Wands. Paraguay, you going to win or you going to lose? They have the Page of Swords. Queen of Wands, that leadership again, the queens, not intimidated. This queen is strong, enthusiastic, creative. Let me look in the book just to make sure I'm not forgetting something. Full of energy, optimistic, independent, taking charge, organization, positive, uplifting, unafraid to speak up. It's a very good card to have. And it also shows a very good kind of like in control of the game. The queen is a bit higher than the page, right? You go page, knight, queen, king. Page of Swords again is that hopeful, but also just a little bit more naive, not as high as the queen. There's a lot of great ideas. There's better communication when it comes to the page of swords. Um, Quick-witted, inquisitive, young at heart. But that has more to do with communication. So I think that Paraguay will get it together and kind of communicate a lot better with each other. But I feel like this is saying that Germany's going to win because in the end, Germany has the Queen of Wands. They may have a terrible second half, but I think they're going to be able to pull it off. Do I want to pull two more cards? Yeah, all right. Why not? The Star, that's a great card. Hope, um, abundance, and the Four of Pentacles, miserly, holding back. So I'm going to go with Germany. I think Germany is going to win. I think they're going to have a great first half, but I think Paraguay may give them a little bit of trouble in the second half. But in the end, I believe Germany does win. But good on you, Paraguay. I think you're gonna really play with your heart. You're gonna play it out. You're not gonna give up, which is very good. Good on you, Paraguay. But Germany for the win. All right, who's next? Netherlands and Morocco. So let's see. Netherlands draw win win. They tied with Japan, but they beat Sweden and Tunisia by quite a few points. Morocco draw win win. They also had a draw win win. So they tied. They tied with Brazil. They beat Scotland by 1 point and they beat Haiti by 2 points. Netherlands is a very strong team, established. Don't know too much about Morocco, but they've been doing well, I think. So let's see. Oops. The cards are all over the place. I'm not looking at my shuffling because I'm looking at the scores just to get a better idea of how the teams have been playing. So Netherlands and Morocco are playing at 9 p.m. Eastern time, and they're playing in Guadalupe, Mexico. So I can't really say about the fan base there, whether either team would have a stronger fan base available to them. That I am unsure of. All right. Netherlands on my left, Morocco on my right. How is this game gonna go? All right, Netherlands, what do you got? You got the Ace of Swords, you got the Judgment card, and you got the Five of Cups. Morocco, you have the Ace of Pentacles, you have the High Priestess, and you have the Four of Swords. It's very interesting because these cards are like they follow a very similar pattern to each other. That's very interesting because we have two aces, right? And then we have two minor arcana, and then we got two cards that are a little sad. So that's a very interesting card. Wonder if this is saying that the teams are going to be playing pretty evenly with each other. I just have to get my drink. I'm very thirsty. Okay, so again, aces, great cards for clarity and purpose. They're both ready to begin, right? They're both at the start of the game, like, let's go. The Ace of Swords tells me that the Netherlands are ready for battle. The Ace of Pentacles says to me that Morocco is feeling very strong, right? They have that pentacle for that physical capability. Um, the swords to me are like more like new ideas, but they are also about attracting victory. So that is very good as well. But I don't see them as like a physical card. The judgment card is interesting because it's like, all right, halfway through the game, it's almost like they have to think things over. Um, there is an awakening that comes with the judgment card, and it is again like a new beginning. It's good for your like consciousness, like rising to higher frequencies. I think within the game, they may have to deal with some. Maybe they're playing too rough. Maybe they had some penalties that had they have to deal with, and they really need to think that over and think about how they're playing. The High Priestess for Morocco. This says to me learning. This says to me, it's a quiet card. You're thinking things through. You are looking at the plays that you've done the first half, and you're learning from that. You're looking at the Netherlands very closely, learning from how they're playing, and you're thinking that through. Um, these cards are very similar. Then you have the Five of Cups for the Netherlands. The Five of Cups, this person is very sad. They're looking at three cups that have spilled. They're not paying attention to the cups that have not spilled. So they're spending a little too much time thinking about missed opportunities as opposed to what went right. The Four of Swords is an interesting card because it's almost like this person is lying in state in a way. It's almost like minor arcana death. Um, they're just still. They how do I want to say this? Let me look up a few keywords here. There's a feeling of being drained. There's a loss of energy. Usually you need some relaxation, some reflection, some meditation to get over that. But in the middle of a game, they may not have the time to really do that. There's an exhaustion coming for Morocco, but then I almost feel like the Netherlands are kind of feeling that as well when we look at the 5 of cups in more detail, right? Things didn't turn out how you expected. There's disappointment. You're dwelling on the past. So it's pretty much everything I said. There's like a mourning over something that went wrong. Not a good headspace to be in, but then at the same time, this is kind of like exhaustion. So it kind of goes well with the Ace of Pentacles. They come out really strong. They get tired. The Ace of Swords, you come out ready for battle, but you feel like you've made mistakes and you're dwelling over them. So this is very interesting the way these cards came out. So I'm definitely going to need the let's see, clarifiers, oops, and the oracle cards. So let's see, an oracle card for the Netherlands in this game. How are they playing? Are they going to win? They have the cross for Morocco. They have the lily. So the cross is burden, difficulties, and spiritual lessons. They're going to have some difficulties. The lessons I can see coming from judgment. I see that burden in the 5 of cups. The lily is about peace, virtue, and maturity. Maturity, I can see with the 4 of swords, where you're trying to think things through, especially in the high priestess as well. There's a peace, right? A peace with that 4 of swords. But it's not exactly telling me who will win. So let's see. We have the changeling for Netherlands, the candle for Morocco. The changeling is the transformation, but also kind of feeling like the outsider, like they're not playing anywhere near as well as they think they should. If they do have a transformation, I mean, it looks more like they come out strong and they go kind of not weak. But the same is said for Morocco, which is very odd. The candle talks about illumination, hope, fragility, and vulnerability. Morocco feels vulnerable. I mean, they have hope, but these cards are they're telling me a story and they're telling me that they're both the same. So maybe it could be that they are at a draw 0-0, right? And then they have to go to the kicks, right? To see out of 5. Kicks, each team gets 5. uh, I think they're called penalty kicks. I'm not sure. I forgot PKs. And they have to, whoever scores the most out of the 5 that each get wins the game. I feel like they might be going to that. And it's interesting. Look at this. They both have candles. They're both young women holding candles and looking very sullen. So it's like so strange because the cards are so similar. It's like the same team. So let's get some clarifiers. All right, so let's get some clarifiers for Netherlands and Morocco. Does this go to a draw? Do they have to do PKs? Who's gonna win? Who is gonna win? Okay, Netherlands, tell me what you got. The Knight of Pentacles. Morocco, what do you got? Ooh, the Ten of Swords. Ooh. Knight of Pentacles, knights are they know what they want to achieve, they know how to get it. Pentacles, good sports ability. This knight is a calm knight, right? He's not running, the horse isn't leaping. He's holding that pentacle securely. He's secure in his athletic ability. If this goes to penalty kicks, Netherlands is going to be very calm and secure about how they will do in that situation. Morocco has the 10 of swords. This guy's been stabbed in the back 10 times. Not great, right? I mean, they're basically dead. So that says, it's a completion card. It's an ending card. It's ending to a bad situation, but it could also just be the ending in general. So I think this is the ending for Morocco. I think Netherlands will win, but I think it's going to be a very close game. Be very, very, very interesting if they go to the kicks, the kickoffs, the penalty kicks, whatever you want to call them. That would be really interesting if that happens. But if that happens, I would say Netherlands will win. So I'm going with Netherlands. But Morocco's going to put up a fight. Good on you, Morocco. But Netherlands for the win. All right, y'all. So thank you for joining me. This was a really fun reading, especially this part. I thought this was so much fun. I'd never seen a reading so similar like that in two teams. So yeah, so thank you for joining me. Please subscribe, please share, please like. Let me know who you think is gonna win. Pull some cards. Tell me who you want to win, things like that. I really appreciate the communication. I appreciate the comments. They're a lot of fun. I really like that. And thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. Have fun watching the games, and I will see you later.